Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. We see some downside pressure here. I want to answer a couple of questions as well that I received. And before we dive into really the micro perspective here, let's take a look at the slightly bigger picture, especially here on the 1 hour time frame. Interpretation is at the moment that an A wave bottomed in April. We had a large B wave that was a corrective rally into the May highs, and the move down looks like a C wave, which might be complete. So A, B, C. This might have completed here at around $2,800. However, as I mentioned, price action from that low doesn't look convincing. It doesn't look bullish to me. And we haven't got a 5-wave move to the upside yet that I would want to rely on. Instead, it's just a 3-wave corrective rally. And we have reached well, the 1.38 extension here yesterday. For me, that's a 3-wave move up. So there is a bullish case, there is a bearish case. In both, I've been watching for lower since late yesterday. I haven't made a new video, but it was one of the updates I provided to our gold members late yesterday. That was on our Discord server. I have added that, here you can see it actually. There are a lot of other updates as well. Yesterday I covered Aave, for example, Bonk, ICP, Bitcoin earlier today, but then VeChain, DOT, Bitcoin again, Cake, Render. Anyway, there are many more. So the point was that I've added micro support for a 4th wave in the bullish scenario, because today's peak, well, yesterday's reached a 1.38 extension, which is the first ideal target for a 3rd wave. This means that as long as the price forms a pullback in a corrective manner and stays above that support level, we can watch for one more high in wave 5. I've also added to the chart how the yellow microstructure, which is bearish, would confirm that a more substantial top has formed. A 5-wave move down, especially if it leads to a break of that support area, would be a strong indication that the trend is down again for a more substantial downside. I've added resistance and support, and you can see in both scenarios I've been watching for the price to go lower. We always have levels for risk management, so the resistance area was added, wasn't even tested, doesn't need to be tested, would have been ideal, but doesn't need to be tested. It means that the trend is down against resistance. We even broke out of this kind of wedge-shaped pattern to the downside, and the market seems to be following through to the downside, heading to that support region where we're now in that support area, and now we've arrived at the next pivot. It's time for the next video. So let's take a look at that, and we go to the 30-minute chart. Here you can see the unchanged wave counts basically. So the idea was, and I can take that wedge pattern out now, we don't need that anymore, but there was a break of a trend line, which did lead to further downside then. We did reach, and I've been highlighting this for a few days now, the 1.38 extension of the initial white 1-2 setup in the white count, which is the more bullish one. This means I can call that a viable 3rd wave, potentially, even though I don't like the microstructure, but it's possible. So this here could simply be a corrective pullback in wave 4. But I'm not going to watch for further upside if we break below that support area. So, quick reminder, in both cases there was a high likelihood of going lower, either in the white wave 4 or in the yellow 5-wave move to the downside. It's still not decided which one it is. But both were pointing in the same direction. These are typically interesting structures. Whenever we see that, there's a high likelihood of following through. Now we have to be watching that support area if there is a reaction. And if we get 5 waves up, and especially if that 5th wave breaks above 3,300 pretty much, then we have a first confirmation that the larger 4th wave correction that started in March is actually completed. Until then, I'm also in parallel watching this 5-wave decline. Okay, so I need to see a 3rd wave to the downside finish, a 4th wave lower high, and a 5th wave, ideally breaking support at 2,968 in order to indicate that something more bearish is going on and that we've indeed topped in that yellow wave count. Yeah, remember we had the short-term bearish and the short-term bullish case. Funny enough, in both we were watching for downside, but this is now the support range between 2,968 and 3,061, where the decision will be made if it's the white or the yellow count. The problem is with that small wave degree here, I don't have a very clear microstructure for this decline. My interpretation is that in the yellow wave count, we are still in the 3rd wave. Only if we get 5 down and break support, it's really bearish. As long as we're holding that micro support area, one more high is possible, and I'm watching for reversal. There is a key target zone between 3037. That would actually be the ideal target zone for the fourth wave in white as well, and 2995. Both yellow wave 3 and white wave 4 should ideally finish there. If it's yellow wave 3, we will hold resistance, which I will communicate on Discord later again. Once I see a low, I will add a micro resistance area that can be watched. If we break above that resistance, it indicates that wave 5 to the upside could have started. I am skeptical, and you might hear the dog in the background. I am skeptical about the white count. I need to see those 5 waves first before I can confirm that the larger fourth wave has bottomed. And that would be the first step in confirming that more lasting uptrends are going to follow. But we are not there yet, okay? We're not there yet. For now, I think for today, this micro support area is relevant, including the target area within. And then, yeah, it's just all about watching for 5 or 3 waves down and a possible reaction here. And then the resistance area that I will add later. There's no point adding one now because we haven't even got 3 complete waves to the downside. And you can also add a trend line here, which might be an early indication that, you know, we've bottomed if we break above it. That's it really for Ether, right? That's it. So hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.